Hello everyone and welcome to this very special collaboration pick a card reading, which I'm doing with the wonderful Gian from Black Dragon Tarot. And we are looking at each of the shamanic realms. So the shamanic realms are divided into three sections. They're divided into the upper, middle and lower world. And Gian and myself will be taking two aspects of each of the realms and exploring them for you to bring back information and guidance. Now, last week we went over the lower world where we looked at your power animals and your human guides. Do check out my description box below and I'll give you links to those readings. Gian will also be doing another reading alongside me with this particular reading, which is exploring the angelic realms of the upper world. I will be exploring the higher self of the upper world. Now, if you want some more information about the upper world, I do have a video which is my shamanism, which is on my shamanism channel, and that gives you more detail about the upper world and something to get you started in terms of research. And it also helps you to journey to the upper world to really see what it is. So do explore those two videos, the lower and the upper world that I've got. Now, with this one, with this reading, you don't need to have done any shamanic journeying or anything like that. It is useful, like you will have a deeper depth of understanding, and it may be even useful, like if you do like this reading, watch it, or if you've come from Gian's and you know you're interested in shamanic journeying but you haven't delved in yet, it's all fine. You can watch this first, or watch Gian's first, watch our readings first, and then you can go back and maybe start some shamanic journeying. I've got a whole course for you, so do check that out. But yeah, there's no need. It's just very universal how this wonder of spirit works. So with that all being said, let's crack on with the pile choices. We've got pile 1 with this gorgeous sparkly geode. It's a quartz geode. I hope that's coming into, there we go, yeah. I have to stand up because my camera is now so high I can't even see. And then we have pile 2, which is this gorgeous Caribbean calcite. The light is quite bright, so I'm sorry. But I do like shooting in daylight. And because this is the upper world, I don't really have a choice. Right, okay. And then we have this gorgeous gemmy quartz crystal. It's so pretty. I love this quartz. So gemmy. Delicate, delicate pink. Okay, so my wonderful collective, you have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends. And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful little geode here. This crystal geode. There's definitely something about seeking clarity and looking for the joy in things that you may not have been able to see the joy previously in before. I think it's really important that that when you do connect to higher realms and your higher self, that you are connecting with a higher vibration. Now, the problem with this is, and I'm going to be really honest with you, pile 1, and also just anybody generally who is watching this reading, there's a lot of like faff out there, which kind of tells you about the kind of, amby-pamby fairiness of spirituality. Yes, it is about the ascension of being able to go up to the higher realms, but it is also about being grounded in reality and being able to really understand the gravitas of what it is when we are talking about ascended masters, upper realms, people who've passed on, those different types of dimensions and spaces. And it doesn't, I don't know, like we seem to have a bit more of a grounded sense when it comes to the lower world. I don't know. And it seems a little bit more grounded, earthy, whatever you want to call it. But whereas as soon as it gets up to the higher realms, people start to just go off on one. So I think it's just really important to just center it now and to say that this is, there's an access point to a higher consciousness and a higher dimension. But this isn't bullshit. This is like for you to access a point where you feel that you can actually make some tangible difference within your life in the 3D. Okay, this is what this is about, you know, because the new age kind of thing, and I'll get off my soapbox in a minute, but like the new age kind of movement has become very falsified / romanticized, and also is a whole haven for exploitation, which is another thing. And I'm absolutely against that. You know, I'm here to tell you the truth, and I'm here to tell you what I see. And even though things may seem beautiful and glittery, doesn't necessarily mean that they are just all airy-fairy, amby-pamby, if you know what I mean. I hope you understood that. There was clearly a reason why I needed to say that to you, part one, so I don't know. But I think, you know, this rock is so beautiful. When you hit the light on there, the colours from this geode is just out of this world. So there's something about you being able to crack open something. And the way I got this piece of geode was that I cracked open a rock, and inside was this. So it's something about you being able to find the divinity within yourself. And probably the reason why I said what I said just now is maybe you don't really believe that you can find the divinity in yourself. You don't believe that you may feel similar in terms of like what I've just said, that, you know, people are just, the new age just seems a lot of bullshit. Do you know what I mean? So how can we really ascertain the difference between what's true and what's not? Because there is so much shit out there, I just have to say. So how do we glean the real sense of self that is actually congruent and truthful with our higher selves, with what we want to give to one another, how we can love one another, how we can really cherish how each other exists within the space and function together as beautiful beings, you know, without sounding like wanky as fuck. So what we can do here is that I think there's definitely like some kind of resistance there in that respect, and your higher self is saying to you, I know. It's saying, I know. Wow, the Sun of 417 hertz. That's heart. That's absolute heart. We came off with quite a light start, so just like bear with me. I do love you. I love you a lot, but you know, for those of you who know my readings, you know how I stay. Now we've got number 16. Number 16 is temperance. So is it temperance? No. Yeah, 16 is temperance. No, 16 is a tower. Nice. Nice, but let's have a look what it means in here, because it's a little bit different and they've got some beautiful meanings in these cards. Okay, see, look, oh my god, I love it when it works. Right, okay, you have what it takes. You are a light bearer. Within you is the healing power and spiritual wisdom that you can tap into to find your way through confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know that you're enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. So that's what I was meaning. Like, there is so much bullshit out there that it can cause you to, you know, think, I don't know how I can shine in my true authenticity, because there's just so much shit out there, Reena. How can I do that? How can I do that? Yeah, I want to be like a Reiki healer, but I don't know how to do that because there are just so many other Reiki healers, and then you hear about these people that are just like doing crazy stuff, and it's just weird, you know, really weird. Like, I'll give you an example. So for example, like here where I live in London, it's just a really interesting mix of people that are just taking on a lot of stuff, and they think that they know stuff about people and really understand. But the basic concept of listening to someone is absolutely just out the window. Like just listening and understanding someone. And those were the basic principles that I understood when I was doing my coaching training before I delved deeper into the spirituality side of it. But now what's going on is that the spiritual side is coming forward without people wanting to listen. And that is where the mistake is. You have a lot of like high performance spiritual like gurus and whatnot that kind of make us think that, okay, yes, there is this movement towards spirituality, but we're not really addressing the real situation, which is people who need people to listen to them and just may help them feel that they're loved and that they're noticed. And, you know, that's why the essence of community. So you could be a Reiki teacher or someone just small within your community. You don't need to be somebody that's like, you know, the biggest Reiki teacher on the planet or whatever. You know, I for a long time shied away from being on screen because I didn't really feel that being on screen was my thing. But then the more I've done it, the more I've realized this is what I love to do. So I have to do it because it's what I'm been asked to do. So it's the same thing of you, like your higher self is asking you, please fulfill this, please, because this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be fulfilling your purpose. God, I've given you like a bit of a, I'm sorry, like, you know, it's mad. The sun generates its own light, okay? Your soul is connecting to your inner sun. The relationship to the light heals. It is not seen as separate. The 417 frequency facilitates a healing shift into the vibration of the higher self. So this is about you not being stuck in the trauma of not believing that you're enough. This is about you moving into a space where you believe that you're enough, where you can really encapsulate the fact that I'm somebody different. I'm not the same as other people. And yes, even though I may be different from other people, I'm not separate from other people. That's the key component, right? So it's not so much that we are all the same, because fundamentally, of course, yes, we have bones, we have blood, we have all the bits and pieces that make us human, but essentially each of the components that make us fulfill a part on this planet is very different. If you compare one plant to another, if you compare these two, like these two eyes, they fulfill different things, but they are essentially the same thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's about having those two different things that may be exactly the same thing, but they are very different, and understanding that. And once you recognize that that gift is very personal in terms of what you give, then that's when you'll be able to give it out there. And that is what your higher self is telling you. And this is really interesting, actually, because higher selves, they talk to you like that. They do. They kind of like gently guide you, but they're like, don't play with me. You know, they're kind of like, and I've found that so much with my higher world guides. They don't mess around. They are like, right, okay, we're here to show you. And even if you are resisting, and I've been kicking and screaming in my upper world journeys where I've not wanted to receive healing. And yet, you know, it's just like, no, we're going to love you and continue to love you, but you're going to be here. And then before you know it, you've had this incredible healing experience. So that's what this is about. It's pretty intense. Wasn't expecting that. Anyway, let's go. I don't know why I'm surprised though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm surprised. I always become surprised because I always think, oh, you know, everybody else's readings is really light and fluffy. Mine are like a big kick up the arse. And I'm just like, listen, right, I don't know, like if I'm going to be able to portray these messages, but it is what it is, you know. Anyway, so actually, no, what I'm going to do first, I've got 2 tarot decks as normal to read with. I'm going to read with the Dreams of Gaia deck, which all the decks will be listed down below in the description box, so do check that out. Also, do check out Gian's reading when you've finished here. Or if you've come from Gian's reading, welcome. Thank you for being with me for the first 13 minutes on one card. Well, not even 13 minutes. The first, like, maybe 10 minutes on one card. So this is going to be quite an intense reading. The first readings always are for my pile 1s. So we've got 12, the hero. Oh, God, I need to look these up. So you might need to excuse me. Okay, wow. Okay, so we've got the hero, the king of air. I think that's fire. Destiny, which is reversed. So these cards are a little bit different from the normal tarot. And I've been a bit nervous to use them, but they wanted to come out to play during this reading. And then we've got, I think that's the ace of Cups, I think. I'm not sure. No, I just want one, please. These cards are hard enough to read as it is already. Right, okay, let's have a look. Ooh. No, I just want one. Just one. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, bear with me. I'm going to look these, like, just look up what they are. I'm not going to look up the meaning because I don't need to do that. But yeah. But this is really interesting. Like, we've got these two images. I've got the feeling that we've got fire, air. This is a major arcana. And then we've got, like, this ace. This is an ace. But it's interesting, we've got all 4 elements here as well. So you've got like a really balanced kind of like thing going on here. I've got a feeling that these two are court cards. And this is the 8 of Earth, I think. This is the 8 of Earth. But let me double check and then I can actually talk about them. Okay, so not gonna lie, this deck is intense. You need to like really understand it. And I think I've been really intimidated like not to read it because I don't know the meaning of the words, but the meaning of the cards, but it's fine. We'll get there. You know, you have to use something in order for it to actually like, you know, for you to understand it. So here we are. Now, I had to turn this one around because you don't really read these reversed. They have their own meanings. They are absolutely insane cards. They're called the Dream of Gaia Tarot. And so what we've got here is essentially the Knight of Wands. We've got the King of Air. We've got Destiny, which is its own like kind of major arcana card. We have the Ace of Cups, and then we have the 8 of Wands. Now, with this hero card, it's a beautiful card. It also means that there's this sense of you kind of going forward and striving to be something that you really believe that is worthwhile to this universe, life, whatever it is, in terms of your purpose. I think there is this drive, and because we've got this Sun card here, it kind of says to me that your higher self is aware that there is a part of you that really wants to move forward and do some good things, and really wants to move forward spiritually. You also have got like this kind of like power to do so. You have the intellectual mind to do so. You may have been doing like some kind of research, or you may have like been an adept in terms of studying. You may have really done your groundwork in terms of the work that you're doing when you are preparing for your spiritual path or ascending. So for example, you could be like really good at meditation. And your meditative practice may have reached a certain level where you feel that, you know, you're at a level where you're adept. So you're like, right, okay, I think I can move into this space. Now, we have Destiny here. There is a reluctance here to realize that there's something about your destiny in terms of the way that you approach this. Because with this hero and with this King of Air, they're both male. So we've got very masculine energy throughout this whole reading. We will see with your other cards, but at the moment we've got quite heavy masculine energy. So like this, and particularly in the material 3D. So essentially, you have got everything it takes to go and do it, but now it's something about embodying the intuitiveness of what you've learned. So in a way, it's almost like I must unlearn what I have learned in order to take a step forward. There's a sense of vulnerability that needs to take place here, and an acceptance of a sense of destiny that will allow one to kind of move forward and accept and receive, actually more so, and receive the kind of gifts of what's coming to you, because you have worked hard for it. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, it may be that you are looking to start up a spiritual business, but you have been intimidated in the past by the kind of like tomfoolery that is out there. So now you're wanting to do something that is truly authentic, that people can truly relate to and really see stands out from the rest. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to come from it from a perspective where you're like really kind of going for it. But then there's something about your destiny in terms of how you've realized that has to be kind of considered. There may be some things about it that you still aren't accepting. completely, because I do feel that even you being at this reading kind of gives me an idea that there is some kind of trepidation, maybe a slight sense of like apprehension about you going forward and being able to really like encapsulate this gorgeous geode that you truly are. So like that beautiful crystal energy. Yeah, but you know what you're doing. You really do. You really do. And I think this reading is to tell you to, and your higher self is telling you, have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself, because you are amazing. Okay, so is that all straight? Hold on a minute. It looks straight down here, but I don't know if it's straight over there. Okay, so let's go in with the next set of tarot. This tarot is really scary, but it's really beautiful. But you can see this is all higher realm. This is what the higher realm. If you have a look at like the lower realm and what I was using there, compared to like the upper realm, the upper world, this will give you a perfect example. This is the perfect deck. Okay, could you please clarify the hero, please? Oh God, I hate when they appear like this. Wow, so we've got the Two of Swords, which is Nemesis, and that will go there. I'll just show that to you. Two of Swords, and as I saw, it was 2-1-1-1. And then we have the King of Wands, Cronus. Wow. This deck is really interesting. It's all got like really hot people, like as the kings and the queens, and the people in it. They're all hot. Right, okay. So we had the Emperor. Wow, Zeus. And then we have the Five of Cups, which is Lethe. So this deck is more to bring you in touch with how you bring the upper world information into the 3D. And then we've got the Two of Cups, Hermaphroditus. Wow. Okay. So, and Two of Swords. Yeah, you're kind of on the edge of whether or not to say anything, whether or not to say something, whether or not to go forward with how you feel about things, how you believe that things should come forward. I mean, it could be that you're either starting a business or that you are not. I don't think it's just singularly, oh yeah, I'm going to go into like another spiritual path. There's something else here. There's something about you maybe communicating with other people, maybe starting a tarot channel, maybe doing something that's like, maybe you're going to speak to people about like channeling or communicating or something like that. There's something about you communicating to a wider audience for a higher purpose. And this is about whether or not you are going to be able, where the way that you speak about it, is that going to be suitable? Now, I mean, of course, yeah, right? On a general reading, we're all going to be like worried about how we put ourselves across, but this is actually like quite a concern. You're like, maybe I should say that, maybe I shouldn't. Some people just say it, like me, but it's taken time, right? It's taken 20 years for me to get to this stage. But like, you know, it's like whether or not, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? So you're in that kind of like place here because you know that you've got a lot to say. And not even a lot to say, but a lot to do as well, because it's wands, it's action, so it's about the things that you're actually doing. King of Wands with the King of Air and Cronus. Cronus was the father of time, but also the father of, and it's also the King of Air. So I think what your higher self is wanting to impart to you is that it may be useful to have some kind of detached view of what you're about to put out there, because the King of Swords is the most like clear-cut and non-emotional out of all of the kings. He is the one who is the CEO/director of a finance company or something like that, or like some kind of company which does not involve any, or maybe even more likely like you know, AI or something like that, something that's going to be like, you know, massively Aquarian. Air is, you know, the air is the air signs, yeah. So, and with Cronus, the idea of Cronus, you know, wanted to kill Zeus. He wanted to kill Zeus and his children because he found out that they were going to kill him. So there was no emotion there. It was just like, yeah, I want to do this. So I'm not to say that, you know, you need to go that far, but it's more that you have to adopt that kind of attitude. Oh my God, something just came to mind. In like writing, theatre, whenever you are creating something, particularly actually writing, there is something called, you have to kill your babies. So basically you have to, if you write a beautiful thing where you are so proud of it and you think it's like the best thing you've ever written, you have to come to terms with how you can just kill it and take it apart and rewrite it. Do always save an old draft, because if you destroy it and then you don't like what you've done, then you can't go back to the old one. So just always save a rough draft. I learned that the hard way. So write a rough draft, save the rough draft, and then just kill it, and then just start again, tear it apart and kill it, and then start again. And that's what I'm thinking that there's here. So there may be something about your strategy that you might need to rework from the ground up, you know? So do think about that. Now we do have the Emperor Zeus here. The ultimate king of kings. There's something about you being really good at this, pile one. This is your destiny. I don't say that lightly, because as I said, there's lots of new agey bullshit out there, but I think that that's what it is, because you got this one, destiny, and then you got the emperor. I mean, and what's really interesting, this emperor, you see the crown is like dripping on his eyes. So it's almost like that, you know, it's almost like the burden of the crown is actually what he has to, like, you know, he has to take in before he can like give it to his people. Yeah, he may be bathing in it, that as well. But it looks a bit Midas-esque, doesn't it? Like Midas. So I think there's something about you fulfilling this destiny that is very important. You have to do this. Whatever you are considering, your higher self is saying you have to do this. Quite simply. Deep. Okay, right, and then we've got Five of Cups, which is covering the Ace of Cups. Nice. Let me just have a look, because I don't know much about Lethe. So let me just have a quick gander at Lethe and what she's saying. Lethe. Right, so she is a, come on, turn the page, please. Yeah, thanks. The goddess of the river Lethe and oblivion. All right. The Greeks always knew how to do it lightly, didn't they? Lethe was the personification and goddess of oblivion and the deity of the river, the same name, and in the infernal regions of the underworld. Those who drank from her shores lost all memory of the past. Okay, I hear it. So it's about you being able to let go of what you try, like what you have to, that the whole thing about me is about you killing your darlings, killing your babies. I prefer killing your babies because it's that whole thing where it's like something that you've created and then you have to just get rid of it. Yeah, it's about that. It's about your creations, and you have to have the heart to get rid of them as soon as like, so that you can create new things. There is disappointment about things that haven't worked. But you know what's really interesting, pile one? Something is coming for you here. Your hard work is going to bring someone, like, I don't know, it could be romantic, it could be a partnership. I don't know what it is, like, and I'll find, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I don't think your higher self wants me to know. But there is something very nice in terms of a partnership that happens as a result of you doing this work. Like, you either create lasting friendships or you create a partnership. I think it's either a partnership or a relationship, one of the two. It may be because like something didn't work out previously with someone else, so that's why that happens. But yeah, somebody that you will definitely develop a big love for. You will love them. You will love their work as well. You will love what they do. And it might not just be one, it might be several. It might be like that you might find like new friends popping up, and that these are really good people that you want in your circle, that you want around you. So this is fantastic. This is fantastic. People who have the same values as you, right? Because you know, like what I was like harping on about earlier, that it's that whole thing of like people who actually work with integrity and are not like, you know, that are not airy-fairy. Anyway, so let's continue. We've got lots of cards to go through. So I will start with, I want to continue with the Greek god theme. Let me just have a look. So we've got angelic realms. Okay, so, okay, the Greek god theme. Wow, the Gorgons. So we'll continue on that. Bear with me. I just need to look in his book about the Gorgons, because I don't know the guy who wrote it. One sec. So the Gorgons were, was it 3 of them? Yeah, I mean, here you've only got 2. But like in the third one was Medusa. So she was like the most famous of them. But with these Gorgons, the idea is that we have a really strong element of female power that comes through, which I said that like there is a lack of female power here. So there's something about you recognizing that sense of your female side that will help you to kind of move towards the creation. And also heeding warnings about people, and heeding and making sure that you're doing your own thing, not really like listening to other people in that respect. Like there are going to be 1,000,001 people that tell you about, you know, advice on your thing, on your project, on whatever it is, on whatever your path is, all of it. Like they're gonna have their own opinions. So it's about like you taking what's important and heeding what's important, because also not everybody is out for your own, you know, they're not out for you all the time. Okay, so that's interesting. So we've got 5. And it did come up reversed. This is your astrological card. Now we do have a 5 here already. There is a little bit of an aspect of like in terms of conflict. So this is what I was getting when I first opened this card. It's that whole sense of like not truly believing that maybe you're worthy of being able to do this. How are you going to put this forward? How are you going to like work through this? How are you going to actually make this tangible? It would be much more simpler for you to go for something that would be like kind of done previously or something. So that might be something to think about. Okay. And then this is like we're moving into the angelic realms now. So here we have Malkuth, which is the ground and kingdom. Now, Malkuth is representative of the connection between the divine and the earth. It is the first Sephirot, which is from the Kabbalah system. I'm really scared because I might mess this up. But essentially, it's the one that is connected to earth. So it's the first one, essentially. So, or the first one that comes from Earth. It isn't necessarily the first one that is in general, because it goes both ways, up or down or up. So Malkuth is the connection with the ground. It's the actual manifestation. So this is more so about how you make this manifest, how you make it happen. Your higher self is saying to you, you got to make this happen, and you have the ability to make this happen. I'm offering you my divine guidance to tell you, if you want to connect with me in the future self, or in the future self, or in the present self, by all means do that, because you are open to that. But there is just some conflict that's going on here personally that you're just going to need to work through. I think you're just going to need to like consistently remind yourself, what is your higher self saying to you, and making sure that it is your higher self that you're talking to as well. So that's an important thing. I'm going to go back to some crystal energy, but it's really interesting. We have self-awareness and comfort. We have chrysocolla, and it says here, I'm highly aware of what I say and what I do, and I'm comfortable with my true self. Well, I mean, it doesn't really get much more on point than that. I mean, you are needing to make sure that you are communicating your truth in a way that you feel that you are justifying yourself, and only yourself. You don't need to justify anyone. So that's really important. Chrysocolla is a beautiful green stone, blue-green stone to work with, so do work with that. But I love that. I am highly aware of what I say and do, and remember how each of your sayings, your thoughts, because I think I've mentioned it before, thoughts, words, actions. Thoughts, words, actions. Positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions. Negative thoughts, negative words, negative actions. They each correspond to each other. So you have to be exceptionally mindful of how you do that with yourself and with others as well. Trust me, I'm so in that learning process. Like, it's not even easy, but yeah. You got this, girl, boy, all of you. I love you. You got this. You got this. Okay, so last 3 cards that I've got. We do have some more god and goddesses, and then we also have some angels. I'm going to connect this like back to the angelic realms. The angelic realms are now going to speak to you. So these are like the angelic masters of different like beings of energy beings that we have prayed to over the years. All different types of creeds and races that have used these different gods and goddesses. So to begin this and to link it back to the angelic realms and what the angelic realms really want to say to you. Wow, we've got Julungal, I think that's how you say it, and it's transition, life stages, and coming of age. Wow, she looks so cool, and she is a snake. Love all that snaky. I'm just gonna pop that down. I want to pop that here because like if I do it anywhere else, the cards are gonna get messed up. So 35, we've got the number of we have the number of strength. Transitions, Julungal. Yes, she's the Aboriginal rainbow serpent goddess. Yes. Her name, role and gender vary all over Australia, but she is commonly known through creations as a creator goddess and the myth bringer of life. She is the one who created mountains, valleys, lakes, rivers, and landscape. Her roles are overseeing the initiation of boys into manhood, swallowing them up as boys and regurgitating them as men. So this is about this whole kind of transition, and it's so interesting. We have a boy and then we have a king, we have the knight and then we have the king, and then there's this need for like the kind of female energy, and then we have this is wonderful. So this is transition, initiation, moving, transforming from the material, from the mental or the spiritual into the physical. So actually it is going the other way. It's going from up to down. I mean, here it says like the men in your life may need nurturing and encouragement, but we already did discuss about that whole thing, like of like the male side needing that nurturing, needing that thing, because I don't know, even the way she's looking down towards the male side. It's like that melancholic, and what you need is this kind of like upward thing, which is of the emperor, and the emperor has fully integrated the female, and behind the emperor we have this gorgeous like female looking character. So it's almost about you being able to integrate those parts really fully. We don't have the temperance card, so it doesn't mean that anything is out of balance. It just means that we might have put more importance on, like, say for example, the physical side, as I said previously, like that idea of we've got to get like a business set up, we've got to get the website set up, we've got to get people to know about us, rather than just focusing on the work, which is what brings the people, right? Okay, so yeah, that's about you evolving into that space. Fantastic. Can we fit it here? Yeah. Is it gonna... Whoop, there we go. Great. Okay, so another card to kind of take us through to Gian's and the angelic realm. So we've got this kind of like ancient old magic and old energy and egregorian energy that's like coming towards you in order to like encapsulate you and guide you through this space. See what I'm saying? Like higher realm energy is something else, man. It's like, we're talking about like really grand energy here. So you have to recognize that this is all on your side. It's amazing, right? Amazing. Anyway, so to connect back to the angelic realms for Gian's reading, and do make sure you go and see this after this reading. Okay, wow, we've got Fuel. Okay, and Fuel is, let's have a look, number 19. And she looks like a mermaid. Love it. Cleansing. Okay, so allow yourself to be cleansed of all that is no longer serving you in preparation for growth and renewal. If you are contemplating detox or a lifestyle change, this card is validation that you're on the right path. So this is about you taking a leap also of faith, a leap of faith. And it's interesting how we have these colours here. So it's a leap of faith in terms of your communication with other people, and about how you communicate your purpose and yourself. And then to close out the reading, we have one last card, which is this. Wow, look at the colours. Love it. We've got all these kind of like dark colours, and then we have this little thing here. Archangel Ramiel, which is divine love. So I think if you recognise that the sense of divine love is what's the main purpose of what is coming out of all of your work, honestly, it works, man. It works. And I forget it all the time. I'm a Capricorn moon, you know, like we're so hard. We're so hard. And then we just remember it's all about love, baby. It really is. And then that's when it kind of comes full circle to what I was like harping on about at the beginning, that, you know, it's not all hippie bullshit. It actually is something that is tangible and real. But it's almost like you have to go through all this whole stuff before you realize actually it is true. But now I can actually observe it and view it and experience it from a place of like truth and integrity. Pile 1. Jesus. This was a reading and a half. I loved it. Did you like it? I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And do go and check out Gian's reading. It's going to be an amazing, like, it's going to be amazing to see what he says, like, in terms of how this reading, like, how they complement each other, how they work together, and the answers that we can give you. But otherwise, my darlings, I love you so, so much. The upper realms love you dearly, and your higher self is just giving me a big hug to give to you and saying thank you. Thank you to all of the guardians, angels and ancestors that came in this reading. I feel so grateful to have channeled these messages to you. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. Remember, there's also the other readings down in the description box below, and also in stuff for my shamanism course as well. If you want to like have a look at it, it's all free, so go check it out. It won't cost you anything. But again, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my darlings, that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful blue aragonite. Blue aragonite is about peacefulness and contentedness and being able to invoke some kind of tranquility into your life. So I have a feeling that you guys will be looking at the upper world for that support, the upper world for support. You'll also be looking towards your higher self to give you that, and to also to remind you of how you've been able to like live with yourself and be able to really embody that sense of peace for yourself. Maybe that is something that you haven't really been used to previously, but now you're looking at, you know, that this is something that you really want. You may have been thinking about it, but not really have been like, I really need that. It may be a time where you haven't really been thinking about that, and now all of a sudden when you do think about it, it's almost like, whoa, actually I do need it. It's that whole thing where we continue to keep on going and going and going, but we don't actually stop. And then the minute we do stop, quite often, like some people get ill or something like that, like when like they say, for example, they've done a big work project or something like that, and then they've ended up taking a break, and then that's when they get ill or something like that, because they have been just working really hard. So what your upper world self is saying to me, your higher self is saying to me that you're doing the right things, but you just need to take it easy and just be calm. I get calm, tranquil Caribbean waters from this. This is also known as Caribbean calcite, but it's not really the name. It's blue aragonite because of the structural composition, the material composition of it. But this beautiful kind of like gorgeous light blue color is very calming. And it's also like an aqua blue, which is the sea. So it allows us to kind of like, we also like calming our emotions is also something that needs to be in place. I feel at this time. Okay, so let's have a look at what this card wants to say about the upper world. Wow, the Lesser of Pravati. This is really interesting, and that's number 32. So let's have a little look at what that says in the book. 32. Okay, there is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same, even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness, inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. So what's really interesting is that sometimes, you know, if we believe that we're supposed to like force our way through something and that we're supposed to kind of attack something in a certain way, this is kind of telling me that, you know, along with this stone, that, you know, there needs to be some gentleness. It's so interesting, the contrast between like the reading from group 1 and group 2. So if you've come for both, this is going to be a very different reading. Now, this is about connecting with the feminine, the sense of the feminine divine, and also allowing you to kind of just be nurtured, to be still, to connect with comfort, and also to connect with the kind of like peacefulness within oneself. Pravati is the god of consort and the wife of the god Shiva. So Shiva is the wildness and the temper and the anger and the wrath. And he is the destroyer of evil. Whereas Pravati, she is the one that is like kind of, she is the one that tempers that. She is the one who calms his waters. Lasya, I think it is, Lasya, provides balance and calming grace when the soul needs gentleness and comfort. Pravati uses her dance of happiness, leading us along the path without requiring us to continually push ourselves beyond limits. Her wisdom protects us from breakdown, guiding us to break through. So this is about being kind to oneself and appreciating the kind of gifts that you have, appreciating where you are, taking time to rest, knowing what you need to do to rest. It's really interesting. For those of you who have come from Gian's reading, welcome. I'm sorry, like I did the welcome afterwards. I kind of tend to go straight into the reading before I say welcome. But welcome anyway. It's really wonderful to have you here. What I would say is that, you know, just take this as it resonates, you know, and just use this as an opportunity to heal. The main thing with the shamanic realms is all about healing. It's all about healing and transforming oneself in one way, being able to capitalize upon gifts or nurture gifts or transform into gifts, or be able to understand certain ways of being, how these things don't work for you, outgrowing situations. And here it's so interesting because in the previous reading we had a very hard kind of it was hard reading, I'm not gonna lie, it was like a pretty intense reading, whereas like with this just feels like a very gentle energy, but very powerful energy. Like it's almost like it'll be almost like an anesthetic, you know, something that will completely knock you out. So you just have to be aware that, yeah, just this is the energy that wants to come to you in order to make sure that you're resting properly, that you're doing what you need to, and that you're not overexerting yourself in a way that you aren't able to be at your best. So, with that being said, perfect start to the upper world. And again, a very different kind of perspective. Because, you know, the shamanic realms can be very different. And even though they are like essentially the same, they're never the same thing. It's almost like if you take a psychedelic and how that psychedelic will affect one person, this psychedelic will affect another person very differently. You may visit a similar place, but it won't be the same experience at all. At all. So there's something very calming. I'm also feeling that there's like you've got different levels of the upper world, and this feels like it feels higher than the first level. So for pile 2, could you please tell me what pile 2's higher self wants to communicate from the upper world? Okay, so we've got that's 18, and that's thought. And then we have thought. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, so we've got, these are the messages from the higher self from the upper world. Okay, and then we've got, I think that is the 9 of Earth, which is similar to the 9 of Pentacles. And then we've got the 9 of Fire. Interesting. Wow, so 2 9s. Number 13, the Queen of Air. And number 12, which is Love. So these two are major arcanas in this deck. They are slightly different to the normal Rider-Waite. So this 9 of Pentacles that I'm seeing here, or this 9 of like air, 9 of Wands, 9 of Fire, this is the 9 of Pentacles. This 9 of Wands that I'm seeing, it seems to be like about you being able to manifest something that's kind of like true to your heart in a way. It feels that, you know, but there's this kind of sense of stillness and also a sense of offering. It's interesting. We see someone here that is like looking into a bowl. Then we see someone that's looking at you offering a bowl. And then we see here someone that is standing here like offering something. There's some kind of thing where we're either looking, you know, there's something there's an object basically. Even in here, there's an object, but it kind of like comes out. This is quite like Temperance, this card. But it just feels like all the characters, all the people in the card are like kind of looking, apart from this one, which says to me about the kind of balance between the two. It actually is more like Temperance rather than this, but this is actually like almost like pre-Temperance. So what this says to me is that there's some kind of consideration about what it is that you're looking to do. Bear with me 1 second, my loves. I do apologise if the sound is a bit better. I'm sorry, the sound will probably now be better. I do apologise about that. I didn't have my mic plugged in. But what you've got here is you've got thought, which is about how you're perceiving things. So this gives me an idea of like, what are you looking at? What is your senses of perception? I'm going to look these cards as well, look up these cards because I'm not entirely sure like what they could mean, because they mean different things. But yeah, it just feels like there's a consideration that needs to take place. And also understanding what is the power of your thoughts in this space. So basically, if you think that you don't have time, then yeah, you don't. If you think that you can't put effort towards that, then yeah, you can't. Yeah, if you think all of those things, then yeah, it's right. And it's important to realize that you have the power to manifest that. And you have the power to really understand what is your reality at this time. then you've got this nine of I think it's nine of earth. I hope it is. Nine of earth. I just saw her. Yeah, it is nine of earth. So I'm getting it right. So this is about you being able to get rid of particular thoughts that you don't really need anymore. So what it seems like is that you have quite a lot of stuff going on. There's a need to calm things down. You need to discern which are the things that you need and which are the things you don't need, and get rid of stuff, it seems like. Because there's a need for like kind of harmony. There's a need for balance. And when you are able to be discerning in terms of what you have, and know, and this is including with your thoughts as well, like what is good for you, what is not good for you, then I think then you are able to get what you need. This Nine of Fire here is about you being able to be really kind of confident with what you have, and be confident in what you have created, and been able to grow within oneself. Also, you know, there's only so much you can do with certain things. So it feels like that, you know, your higher self is telling you that you've got all of these things. You don't need to like beat a dead horse. You don't need to like go over and over and over again. Just be okay with your efforts, and then that's it. And just kind of like move on. This is what I'm getting here. Yeah, because I think there's an opportunity for you to really think about what you want to discard, and how you want to focus on those things. And the Queen of Air, I'm just thinking if there's anything else here. See, this is very, very different. So interesting. It's so different from the, and I've really been scared about using this deck, but you know, you have to use a book, you have to use a book. That's what the cards are. They're honestly like some kind of oracle deck. They're not really like tarot, this deck. I might have to switch the camera off and just pause it for a second, because I do hear, I have a beautiful, wonderful ice cream van that comes. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. And it comes, and it just comes right outside my house. So I might have to switch off. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Bear with me. Sorry about that, my loves. Ice cream van. So what we've got here is that, you know, you've got this kind of steadfast, experienced approach, which is kind of thinking that you're going to have to get things done. You're going to have to really kind of plow through things. But there seems to be some kind of alertness or alert to you paying attention to what love really is for you, how you really show yourself love, how you take care of yourself, how you're able to do things for yourself, because there's this kind of sense of discernment which needs to happen, this weighing pros and cons, what's really the truth of the situation. And then there's this thing, right, okay, the sense of give and take. How do I like get rid of the things that don't really matter to me, but yet how do I keep the things that really matter to me? And then I've got here this kind of thing of like knowing what I'm about, that how things are good for me, how they really matter to me, the things that are, you know, that I can produce that are good, that really make me who I am. How do I keep a good sense of value on that, even having like this sense of experience, and not having to kind of think that you have to deal with things that are new, or you know, just having to keep up with stuff, and then finding you're exhausted and worn out, and then you find that you're lacking in love for yourself. So that's the kind of energy I'm getting. And also, I'm not going to lie, like a lot of distractions during this time. ability to be able to get my words together, and you know, there's a uncertainty, unsureness, but also the knowing that you can do this, but then there's a little bit of shakiness, a little bit of like uncertainty, ungroundedness, which is really interesting. So let's see what the tarot has to say about this. And that's why there's this need to like rest, really, to be honest. Not as in Four of Swords rest, but more as in like, you really need to get rid of the things that you don't need to have around you. There are other things that need to be, that are more important and need their place around you more so. Okay. Right, so we've got the Ace of Coins reversed, which is Aeolus. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which is Melpomene. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is Demeter. Okay, right, I see what's going on now. And then we have the Page of Coins, which is Horme. And then we have this last one, which is Themis and Justice. Okay, Justice reversed. All right, I see why. I could see it anyway from beginning, why you're like, right, I've just got to keep on going. That's the thing that I was getting. It was like, I've just got to keep on going. There's no way I can stop. I can't really stop. And even though you're telling me to stop, I still can't do it because I've still got so much to do. That's what it felt like. Thought Ace of Coins. Maybe you're in a position where financially, you know, you're not stable. You're not in a place where you really feel that you have that stability that you could really, that would be really helpful for you right now. Then you also have the Ten of Swords, which is clarifying this thing about with this Nine of Earth, which is the idea of like letting things go. But there's almost like a sense of like, how can I let that go? How can I let that go? It's actually like, you know, almost that the pain is part of it. I just want to see what this Aeolus is, who they are. Ace of Coins. Let's have a look. I've always avoided using these decks because I have to look them up, but you know, you need to use them, right? So the Ace of Coins, Aeolus, is, as noted in the Odyssey, it was the keeper of the winds, the power to still and rouse the winds blessed upon him by Zeus. He kept the violent storm winds locked away on his isle, waiting only for the god's command to release them. So yeah, it's like being buffeted by the gale. So it's almost like you're kind of like at the whim of your circumstances as opposed to taking charge of your circumstances, which is why I understand that you may be like, I've got to work, I've got to get this done, I've got to do this. Let me just have a look at your Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is Melpomene, the goddess of muse and tragedy. She's actually one of the 9 muses. Tragedy and lyre playing. Okay, right. Well, I mean, it's kind of classic, like Ten of Swords, really. But there is drama. Like, I feel like that this is like, it's almost like there's a little bit of the swords that you are, you know, it's there. The pain of the thing that happened is there very much. It's not gone away, which is why you can't walk away from it just yet. And I think it might be to do with something that you believed would happen and it didn't. Demeter is the Wheel of Fortune, so it's that kind of idea of like, you know, that the seasons didn't change when they were supposed to, the weather didn't come through. Same like if you are relying on a crop and the fruit didn't bear as much as it should have done at that time. There's that kind of sensation that's happening here. The Page of Coins reversed. Let me just have a look. Page of Coins. I don't know Horm. Horm is a goddess. They don't know a lot about her. but she was the goddess of energetic activity, impulse and effort. Now, for me, like, I've always seen the Page of Coins as the player card. When it's reversed, it's the player card. So, what I would say here is that sometimes when we are being discerning and when we are trying to play it cool, sometimes we can end up being a bit of a, being very non-committal in our actions, because we're only used to doing something in a certain way because that's the way it works for us. It's very different from the player energy, but it's still the same kind of thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. So basically, it's when someone's got to an age where they've matured into like a way of being, that they believe that what they're doing actually is just the right way. Rather than being open to like other forms and other new ways of doing things, and also being uncooperative with other people. That's what I'm seeing here, pile 1 and pile 2. So your higher self is saying to you, like, there are these tendencies that when you decide not to take care of yourself and not to love yourself in a good way, that some nasty shit tends to happen in the respect of you not really being a nice person. That's what this is saying. Because, and not just to other people, this is to yourself. So it's kind of like making sure that you are, and your higher self is there to like say to you the good stuff, because the stuff that you might not be able to take from others. So your higher self is saying to you that you have what it takes, but you just need to take a step back. You really need to take a step back. This Justice card reversed tells me that you got effed over pretty intensely for some of you. I don't know, but the Justice reverse card is never a good card for me. It never feels that it was done, it wasn't your fault. This absolutely wasn't your fault. Like, none of this was your fault. It just was what it was. Justice reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. This says to me that you really tried. You really tried. And then unfortunately, things just didn't work out that time. Now, whatever you want to call it could be fate, could be destiny, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. All I know is that it just didn't work out for this time. And Themis is one of the Titan gods. This is probably why I've had like quite a bit of difficulty with this reading. She was a prophetic goddess who watched over the ancient oracles. She was not blind, however. Depictions of her being blindfolded speak to her unbiased and steadfast instructions to divine law. So, she was able to see, what was there, but it just seems like right now that didn't work out. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And this is why you're maybe working yourself into the ground, and your higher self is saying to you that, I know you've been through this, my dear pile 1, I know. I really know. And it feels really painful. It feels really, not even painful, it just feels shitty. It feels just not great. And your higher self is like, just rest, my darling pile 2s, just rest for me. Just, I will hold you and rest with me. And let's just rest together. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, pile 2, I love you. I love you very much. I love you dearly. And I'm just giving you the biggest hug. I hear this so much. I hear it. Okay, so let's move on from this and see what else that your higher self wants to say, because this is where you were. These cards are the connection to the middle world. So you've got all of these beautiful qualities that have come before, and you need to rejuvenate and reignite those things, but you need to rest to do that. So okay, let's have a look at some astrology. Wow. So we've got the waning gibbous, and then we've also got the Saturn return. Some of you may be hitting your Saturn return. So either in between the ages of 28 and 32, or you could be within the ages of 58 and 62. So, And for some of you that are older, you may be in your 90s. So, or there could be something that happened during the Saturn return that is playing a major significance now in terms of this thing. It may be a patterning that you thought you got over, and you're like, I thought I got over this. I really thought I got over this, and I haven't got over this. You've also got the waning gibbous as well. So waning gibbous kind of gives us an idea of like when this is going to be kind of, you know, either it's potent or there's going to be some significant change that's happening. So when the moon starts to disappear, when this cycle starts to disappear, or no, hold on, waning gibbous. Yeah, so when it starts to disappear. So basically it's like when it goes from full to closing. That will help you to kind of just say goodnight to these things. And what's interesting, we do have an ace of coins here. We do have a page of coins here. But these things are pretty quick, right? You know, obviously these are big events, but they will come again. They will, because that's the one thing that is inevitable, change. We always know that change will occur. Okay, so then what other cards do I want to give to you? I gave you the wrong card first. Wow, Achilles. I mean, wow. So Achilles was a great warrior, but there was only one place that he could be struck. And of course, that is the place where he's struck. And it feels like that is the kind of like place where you've been hit with this. So just take some time to heal. And also remember that he is a great warrior. So that also is where you are as well. You are embodied in that. Okay, so the next card I want to pull out is citrine. Look at that power. Yes, sacral chakra. Interesting, it goes with the sacral. So I create endlessly. I choose to be happy. Wow. Creativity and happiness. I do feel that with this pile. I feel like there's a little bit of like somberness and sadness here. So just be aware of how that's making you feel, and take due course and due care for you to heal that and to try and fix that, because that will essentially make you better. Your higher self is just urging you to do that. If you meditate or do any kind of meditation that involves you rejuvenating yourself, re-energizing yourself, do it. It will really help. Okay, so before we go into that one, I'll do this one. This is Hod. Wow. Submission. Okay. So the thing about Hod, right, is that I can't remember which one it is. Let me just have a little look. So it's the 8 emanation, the force that abides. Hod is what guides us when we surrender ourselves to the flow of fate and let destiny guide our motion. Through her light, we see the boundlessness of glory. Waving our hands through the wind, we feel the air pull us upward. It's only by resigning ourselves to the forces around us that we truly experience the nature of those forces. So this is about letting go. Well, it's submission, right? So this is about truly letting go. Letting go. Let it go and trust in the universe. Okay? Right, so we have some angelic magic that will bring it to... Actually, no, I'll do that one first. We have Saint Teresa. So simplicity, devotion, and empathy. I don't know if this is the same one as like Mother Teresa. I'm not sure. Let me just double check, because if it is, then that's mad. No, it wasn't. So Saint Teresa of Lisieux was a Carmelite nun who lived a short life. So why was she famous? I want to know why she was famous. That's really interesting. I need to know why she was famous. Bear with me. Because why is she in this book? Okay, so the main message from this card here because it doesn't really tell me anything in the book, is that basically she was a nun that was the model for Catholicism as a religion, in terms of showing people that the simplicity of devotion and prayer was something that enlightened her and helped her to achieve a sense of spirituality in her life. So, with that in mind, again, we've got this theme of submission, this idea of just being able to let go and allow yourself to just be. Same thing with the waning gibbous. You've just got to let it close, let it do what it's got to do. It's almost like there's just been this whole like tower stuff that's been going on here, and now it's time to just like, okay, now I'm just going to retreat and I'm just going to heal now. That's all there is now, and your higher self really wants you to, like, is urging you to do that and wanting to help you to do that. Citrine will be very gentle in the respect of, like, you know, that you can work with that. You don't have to be consistently like working. You still could be creating in just every small simple thing that you do, which is kind of the message from Saint Therese that's going on here. So okay, so I've got one card that will link you to Gian's reading, which is of the angelic realms. So let's have a look at which you have for the angelic realms. And this is Celestial. Now, this Celestial, he's really cool. He looks like a Buddha. Again, this idea of devotion. See, so devotion has come up twice. Devotion is actually the key word in here. Devotion. So yeah, and devotion is there. So he's illustrated as a Tibetan monk, and that's to basically give the idea of ritual. The main message here is your whole existence is sacred. Let your heart lead you. Devotion comes in many different shapes and forms. Even walking barefoot in the grass can be a form of prayer. So back what I was saying to here when I was talking about the sacral chakra, just you could be making yourself a delicious meal, and that could be something so special for you. You know, you don't have to be working consistently or like really grinding the stone so that you feel that you've achieved something for the day. I feel like this is like saying that you don't have to achieve burnout in order to like feel that you've achieved stuff, or you don't have to be absolutely like cream crackered. So do pay attention, because your higher self is asking you to do that, because it's saying that if you don't continue to take care of yourself, you may, you know, it won't be good. It won't be good. Okay, right, so with that all done, your final card. Wow, indigo spectrum. So that's third eye chakra. Now, you can't access your third eye chakra while you're walking around doing stuff. You have to be able to, I don't know if that will fit there. Just about. We worked it out. Fabulous. Like, I don't think that you are able to meditate while you're walking around. So I think it's important that you take the time to just relax with yourself, be like Parvati, and just allow yourself to become the flower that closes for the night and then reopens and then closes. Because right now you are just you're on 24-hour blast right now. And it's, as I said, I know why you're doing it. You know, you've got this kind of hamster wheel run that's happening. So just take it easy for yourself, my darlings. And go and see Gian's reading and see what the angelic realms want to give to you in terms of healing. Because obviously you're having a lot of healing here. But this is quite intense. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this reading, and for those of you that are new, I hope that you liked my style of reading. It's pretty intense. It's not your average like, oh yeah, fluffy bunny rabbits and, you know, you're going to meet the love of your life. But it is what it is. I read the cards as they are, and I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it useful. Go and see Gian's reading. If you want to go and see the other readings that are in this series, check out the description box below. But otherwise, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you choose to watch this. And do remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So these have been quite big readings so far. If you have come from Gian, welcome to this pick a card collaboration that I am doing with him. And if you are here first, welcome. It's really good to have you all here. And it's been a kind of roller coaster of readings, so just bear with me. But today we will be talking about the higher self and about how the higher self connects to you through the upper world, which is one of the realms that appear or are present within the shamanic worldview. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more about this, you can always head on to my shamanism channel, and I do basically, I've got a little course there which helps you to be guided to the lower world and also to the upper world. It gives you an idea of what the worlds are and also gives you an opportunity to travel there as well. So this might give you a good background in terms of how you can understand a bit more from those worlds. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You may also have come from a shamanism background previously and see what these realms have to say for you or to you within the cards. So that's also relevant as well. So however the energy wants to come to you, regardless of whether or not that you're into shamanism or not, the energy will come to you. And yeah, just thank you so much for watching. I'm just really excited to be doing this collaboration. So love. We've got this gorgeous gemmy rose quartz. What I'm noticing here is that it's super sharp, like it's like glass. Obviously, like, you know, pieces of rose quartz are like that, but just to let you know, like in terms of the quality of rose quartz, this is like kind of like rough rose quartz, and this is gemmy rose quartz. So this is like gem quality rose quartz. So it kind of gives you an idea of like how this is, like what the quality of this is. It's a higher quality of it. So there's something very precious about this, but there's also something that tells me that there is something that maybe when like there's something about understanding how you love people and how your love is perceived by other people. Because your love is so crystal clear and brilliant that it might seem a little bit cutting to some. I'm just getting that. Because we've got like it's really sharp. Like if I was to press a little bit harder, I'd cut myself. And, you know, this almost looks like volcanic, like the way that the glass kind of like goes here. So it might also seem there may be some elements of heat, but it is really glassy. So rose quartz is the ultimate healer. It is about that sense of spiritual love, but there is something very kind of ethereal about this energy. So let's have a look at what your card is. Wow, the Deer of Delta. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, I just need to look that up. So beautiful. I love that so much. I'm sorry about this. Right, okay, so without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. So, oh, interesting. It says some things can only happen when we let go of the deepest, when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one had to sever themselves from the world as one knows it to unlearn what one once knew. That's what I said for group 2, actually. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here one is completely unconscious. Here is the temporary paralysis of this level, which allows one of the deepest healing and renewal. Here the gateway of the universal mind is entered and the precious recalibrating of treasures are gained. Of healing are gained. In Delta we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. So yeah, delta waves. Delta waves are very slow. Bear with me 1 second. Delta waves are very slow. They're very, they encourage you to slow down, to get to a space where it's almost ice-like. And I think that's why you have to move at this pace, because at the moment, right, this is not a permanent thing, but because it's cutting, you need to be really, it isn't that you need to be cautious and like walking on eggshells or nothing, but you just need to be cautious of how your energy is so, like, it's just so healing. You just have to be aware of that. And it's good for you to be somewhere comfortable. This is really interesting. The Greek nymph Taygete called upon her beloved goddess Artemis to protect her from unwanted advances from a powerful suitor. In response, the goddess transformed Taygete into a doe, so she will be safe from harm. Now, if you are able to allow yourself to be vulnerable in this space, then you are able to transform into something that will allow you to experience a deep sense of healing. To be able to, I also do think that this is something that represents your opportunity to be healed in a way that you've never been healed before. I think that's what your higher self is kind of like saying to you. It's saying to you that it wants you to take advantage of this way that you're being guided to heal. There's something to do with others though, and I'm just curious about that. So let's see what these cards have to say. What does Pile 3's higher self want to say to Pile 3? Now, a little knowledge about the higher self. The higher self doesn't necessarily resonate within all shamanic practices. It's just something that I've seen quite often. Also in my shamanic groups as well, like we're all in touch with a version of ourselves that appears in the upper world. So that's what I'm referring to, really. It could also be your higher self. My higher self does also appear as a different thing. So, it could be that as well. But it's basically the highest version of yourself. If your version was going to act in the best ways possible at every single time, all the time, this is who they would be. For Pile, okay, wow, okay. So I don't take these reversed. So Pile 3, we have the 9 of Earth. We have the 3 of Air. We have the 5 of Water. Sorry, 10 of Water. And then we have the 4 of Earth. And one more, please. And we have Journey, which is a major arcana card. Okay. Just make sure that these are all straight. Yes, they are. Okay, so you are... I say this at the beginning of my shamanic journeying. You're going on a journey. It does feel like that. It feels like that. But the journey is like this inward journey that's happening. There's the thing where you have to discern what it is that you want to leave and you want to take. What is it that you want to... Bear with me 1 second, my darlings. My dear, wonderful pile 3, please forgive me. I had a bit of an emergency that I needed to get away with and get away from, to sort out. So I'm sorry about that. Now, here we've got this sense of knowing what you have got, but knowing what you have to get rid of, understanding your information, and really recognizing the things that you have, the knowledge that you have, but also learning from past experiences. And then you've also got here, so this is like the 9 of earth, the 3 of air. You've got the 10 of water. Now, this particular 10 of water, I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that here, this 4 is about structure. It's the 4 of Pentacles, or the 4 of earth. And this kind of structure comes at like a price. So there seems to be some like need, or not even need, but it's more that you have been expending a lot more energy than you would have wanted to in order to keep yourself going in this respect. And I think you need to respect that you have been doing that. This figure here has got these kind of, you can see they're bleeding and they have problems with them. So I think it's really important that you recognize that this is something where you've been trying to kind of hold it together. This is about universal love, divine connection, serenity, peace, boundaries. This is about living in the present state, in the truly in the present, but then also being connected to the divine. This is boundaries. What I see here generally is just really understanding where your boundaries are and not pushing things in a way that, you know, basically if you are to be one way, it may be a little bit obtuse for others. So they might ask you to dull it down a bit. They might ask you to cut it down a bit. They might ask you to maybe sand down and make it a bit more smooth. Like say, for example, this piece. Sorry, I'm going to disrupt my beautiful display. But like you see this piece of rose quartz. It's like, you know, it's nice polished piece. But then you've got this piece and it's just like this gorgeous gemmy piece, which you can see right through it. So, you know, they want you to be more like that. But there are like, I haven't seen many pieces that are like this. And this is what you want to be, like, this is you. So there's this kind of like need to respect that, you know, you are you and you're doing you and you're going to withstand that. There's also an element here that it is regardless of whether or not it's actually, you know, it's your lesson to learn. Like it's not really for someone else to tell you how to do something. This whole thing of like, you know, your boundaries and how you're connecting with the divine. The 10 of Cups or the 10 of Water usually is a really lovely opportunity to indulge in your own sense of happiness, even though you have like built up this structure. There is this thing though, you have built up this structure and we do have this, I don't know, it looks like a bee. It looks like some kind of like animal or something. But what I get here is that you've got your own thing. You've got your own way of doing things. And really and truly, you just need to stick to that. And I think that maybe partly that is the journey. Like you transforming from this like being of who is in this kind of like space of darkness and then moving into this space of light where they really feel proud of who they are and what they're doing. But you need to rest in order to do that. You need to like get some real deep rest and relaxation. It's interesting. Yours and pile 2s are really similar. But then, yeah, these ones are very different. Very, very different. Let's clarify. So your higher self is telling you to rest, recharge, go in towards yourself. It's not telling you to be a hermit, okay? I'm not telling you, oh yeah, you need to like go in and be a hermit. It's telling you that you need to like just slow it down, bring the vibration down, because there is some kind of deep healing and rest and relaxation that you need to tap into, and that can only occur once you've understood how to like give away some things, It's almost like a detox, like a massive detox that's going on here. But it's not quite, because we've got this building here, and then we've got this journey card here. And then there's just a lot of activity going on here. Do you know what I mean? But there is this sense of like going inside. It doesn't mean that you're doing internal work. It just means that you're doing things for yourself. Does that make sense? Can you please clarify that one? Oh, look at that, the Hermit reversed. That was the first card that came out. That's why I was saying it's not the Hermit. It's more the Hanged Man in a way. Okay, so we've got Calliope, which is the 7 of coins. We've got the, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, we've got Calliope, which is the 7 of coins. Iris, which is the 10 of wands. Absolutely. The Empress, Hera. And then we've got the Magician reversed. Oh, okay. The Magician reversed. That's really interesting. What's your higher self trying to say to you? Let me just have a look at that journey card. Bear with me. Oh no, this has taken a very interesting turn now that I've seen this. So this idea of you resting, but not taking, like not completely resting. Resting but not completely resting. Going, like, keeping a low profile. I think that's what I want to say. I don't know, pile 3, but I'm just going to put it out there that maybe there's a part of you that has been corrupted in a way that you feel, for example, you don't feel like you've behaved in the best way possible. Like you feel that like maybe there's been things that haven't really, like experiences that you've taken part in that you have like, and we're not talking about anything too bad, but we're talking about ways of doing things. So there could have been like a really, like, you know, when you're younger, maybe the way that you do things, you actually wish that you did things in a different way. This is about becoming more aware, more personally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically aware of what you're doing within a space. And that is totally the upper world. Now, the Hermit reversed here says to me that there's an opportunity for you to make things happen and get out there. But I just feel like, you know, I just feel that this is covert. I just don't feel like you'd be telling anyone about this. The 3 of Swords with the 7 of coins and Calliope. Calliope was a goddess that was on one of the islands where Odysseus had his Odyssey. And she tried to enchant him to stay on the island. So it just feels to me that there could have been some ways of being that you may have thought that you were right in some respects about some certain things and tried to think that that was a certain way of doing things. But actually there's more space to grow from that. There's more ways to do things. What I mean by that is, for example, say you have done something in terms of a work thing. You've gotten to a certain level or stage in work and you're okay with it, but it's comfortable. And you could continue to milk that as much as you wanted to, but you know that you actually want more than that. And I think that that's what's kind of going on here. But you've got here the 10 of Wands. You know, you're realizing that, you know, you have to do your own thing. You can't really be under the kind of thumb of other people. You have to do things your own way. You have to make sure that you're doing things your own way. The 4 of Pentacles with the Empress. This is you allowing yourself to flourish within your own universe. And I've just realized what this is actually. So, okay, this could be 2 things. This could be you, this Magician reversed. So it could be that there's like some kind of elements of manipulation that you've gone into, or which I think is more likely, and I'm not just saying that, Like, it feels like that you may have been susceptible to characters like this, because that actually goes more with the story that's here. And that's why Deer of Delta is here. Because for those of you that have undergone like any kind of like narcissistic abuse, and trust me, I'm no psychologist, I've just been a victim of it, so I know it. And I've got my history with it. So like, basically, you need that recoup and regeneration. You need that, and that's the journey. Sometimes understanding like the partners that we attract or the people that we attract can give us like that whole thing, an understanding of who we are, why we're attracted to the situations, to the people that we're attracted to. And that involves like deep, you know, healing. As I said, like, I don't really see like you going deep underground to do this work. I feel like it's going to happen anyway, but I do also feel like you're at the start of it. So in comparison to like pile 2, whereas like pile 2 had to like just take a break, with you, what I'm feeling like is you have to like do some actual reconstructing of your approach to how you view, not even how you view, how you take action within certain situations, so that you can wholly protect yourself. Because I feel that you've actually been undermining yourself, and in a way like you've been stopping yourself from actually being you put yourself at risk. Coming back to the story that was here of Taygeti, I think it's Tayget or Taygeti, where she changed herself into this doe so that she would be safe from this suitor. It's almost like that. That's what I could feel. Like, I wasn't sure. When I see this magician reversed, I always get a bit like, but yeah, like I kind of think, immediately think manipulation. But it feels like to me, because you've got this Empress here, it's almost like that you may have been taken advantage of. You know, people may have taken advantage of your good nature, or they may have taken advantage of you in some way in the past, or you have maybe been susceptible to this kind of behavior in the past, and now you're just shutting everything down so that you can just make sure that you can just concentrate on what you're supposed to and heal in the way that you're supposed to. Wow. Yeah, I think that's what your higher self wants me to tell you, Pile 3. Okay, so let's stick with the Greeks. Wow, the Cyclops. Oh my God, the Cyclops. Okay, let's just have a look at what it says in the book. Now, the Cyclops is a mythological creature that is one-eyed, has one eye. And I think there's a bit of misunderstanding about it. Let's have a look. Greek. There we go. I'm sorry about this. The book is online, so I have to look at it online. Cyclops. Oh, are you not? Okay, bear with me. Well, that matches completely with what I was saying with this. Now, you know, when we end up like trusting people that, you know, may not really seem good for us, even if we've been through that before, if we're not ready to learn the lesson that comes from it, it will happen to us again and again in a different form, in a different way. And you know, this is what this kind of like signifies. It's almost like you need to put that energy to sleep in order to like regenerate. The higher self is, it's not lesser than, but it's definitely functioning from a higher consciousness, a higher plane of consciousness. It doesn't mean anything is better or worse than the other thing, but it just means that there's another plane of consciousness that is existing here. So whereas like the Cyclops is raw power, things that are just kind of all over the place. It says naivety or lack of foresight. Now, with this Deer of Delta energy and also this energy here, you're able to kind of like consolidate that you may not be, you know, whoever it was that may have been susceptible to the victimization of this power, that actually you're actually belonging more to this power. And that's That's really something to kind of hold on to and behold. Sometimes we forget about that. Your higher self is here to recognize that. I would say that this is you and this is your higher self, just looking after you, because you've been like hurt. So just take care of yourself. Okay, so we've got a couple of astrology cards. I've got Chiron reversed. Actually, I'll put that there. Got Chiron reversed. And we've got Leo reversed. Okay, this is pretty deep. So, like, your power is diminished. It really feels like that. I don't know if you're nervous about talking to other people, if you're not, like, you know, if you're not able to really, like, either talk to other people, or if you're not able to, you know, communicate with other people. There's also this element of the wounded healer. It also feels that you are, like, you know, wanting to be able to help other people. But sometimes, you know, if you are functioning from an empty cup, then, you know, it's just going to be really difficult for you to help others. So just make sure that that's, you know, I think that's why you're having to retreat, because, you know, Leo is reversed, Chiron is reversed. You have to heal. You have to heal. It doesn't mean, as I said, like, it doesn't mean about you being a hermit. It just means about you healing. So if you need to take a holiday, if you need to do something where you get away from people that are toxic, this is what it means. If it means that you go covert and nobody knows where you've gone, that's what this means. Okay, and then I will pull some more angel stuff, but let me just get the book out just in case, because I don't know the meaning of some of these. Wow, Astibius, the angel of divination. Now, just off the bat, okay, I think this is like a sense of like trusting in the divine and trusting what it is that actually the divine has to give you. Because sometimes we are too afraid to rest. We're too afraid to just allow energy and what's around us to help us, because we're just so kind of on edge trying to make things happen. Let me just have a look at... Does it have any... Do you have some titles? God, all of these books, like, they're so difficult to find the things in. Bear with me. Okay, I'll just read you what it says because it's trippy. Right, okay, so... You've called its name and so it has come, but you do not command what is foretold. Astibius can only be an uncertain ally in these mercurial times. Astibius reveals the ever-shifting rhythm of the skies and beckons us to observe the alignment of the signs. Something is seen in the clouds, in the leaves, in the shadows. Something is as glorious as fate. You observe something that could not, must not be real. Your curiosity is your call to action. You are compelled to go. And it says signs, sacred geometry, a cup of tea, and a falling star. Now, what I make from that, right, pile 3, because that was a bit cryptic. What I make from that is just surrendering. Allowing yourself to be, I wouldn't say go as far as be a victim of fate, but what I would say is that it would allow you to just be okay with the fact that things may not go out the way that you think that they're going to go out. And I don't know, like, if there's an element of control that you have, you do have to let that go, because there just needs to be some healing here. There really does. Okay, so the next card I'm going to do is this crystal chakra deck. Wow. So we've got heart chakra. And it says here, I release past traumas. And it says, I seek guidance from my higher self. Wow, beautiful reading. Release and guidance, malachite. Wow. That's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. I'll pop that there. So, I mean, that's kind of saying to me that you've, you know, just be with your heart. Release and allow yourself to be guided by this beautiful energy and reside in this delta energy. Okay, so the next card we're going to have is this one. Wow, White Tara, love that. Okay, so we've got 28, it means 10. So that's the number of completion. We've got peace, compassion, healing, and longevity. White Tara is the ultimate embodiment of the Bodhisattva that was with, it's in, not Egyptian, it's in Buddhist mythology. But it is a form, it's almost like the higher form or the highest form of the Tara, I think. Yeah, because we've got different Taras. And this particular Tara is about, it's another aspect of the Tibetan Bodhisattva. And it is the Bodhisattva of compassion, harmony, healing, longevity, and health. It says that the Tara was born from the tears of the Avalokitestrava, a great Bodhisattva of compassion. And it's the whole thing of liberating people from suffering and liberating beings from suffering. It's a gentle love. It's just very synonymous with this energy. It's about being peaceful and kind to oneself, having compassion for yourself and each other, creating peace in your life and allowing yourself to be healed and whole, and you can offer healing to others. I think that's what's going on here. So yeah, and I feel like you may be thinking that this has just been a bit unfair, like these things that have happened, and your higher self is saying to you, it's okay, we've got you, we're here to heal you, we're here to help you, and you will be able to get understanding for this later on down the line. If you don't already, you know, I really do feel that the people that come to my readings, they have a really good level of esoteric knowledge about themselves and how they are spiritually within this dimension. So yeah, I feel like you understand that. But there just may be some patterns that have just been like kind of pummeling you, and now it's like, right, I'm stepping back and I'm not going to take part in this anymore because I just don't have time for it. Okay, now I've got a card that will connect you to the angelic realms. And yeah, so and this will also connect you to Gian's reading. So here we are. Wow, Christiel. Okay. So this is full-on Christ consciousness, number 36, so that's number 9. You've had, like, I don't know, you've got 8, 10, 8 and 10. So you've got, like, quite powerful numbers, and now you've got 9. So there's definitely, like, something about whatever this is, whatever cycle this is that you're going through, it feels like it's coming up towards the end of it, like you're working your way out of it. This is peace, and a more peaceful time is coming to you. You have worked hard to create peace in your life. Trust that, and as you do no harm shall come to you. This is essentially like you evoking peace in yourself, making sure that there is peaceful times for yourself. Peaceful times are coming to you. I don't know, I just feel like there's been turbulence, not like mad turbulence, but turbulence in a way that it's just not been a very nice thing. Nice things that have happened. There's just been some unfortunate things, similar to like pile 2, but just whereas like that seemed like it was more circumstantial, whereas this is more like it could have been like a relationship or something, or just people taking advantage, you know. And there's some soul searching of a deep inner healing, which is what your higher self is like guiding you towards. But right now it's guiding you towards peace, love, divinity, light, you know, this beautiful clear crystal piece of rose quartz, you know. And I think what I could see before, like with the cuts, is that I feel like you've been cut. Okay, so to close out the reading, pile 3. Wow, Archangel Azrael, celestial peace and unity. Now, beautiful blue energy, but it's also very much this crystal here that we have here, which is celestite. Transmutation of beautiful healing angelic energy that will allow you to heal deeply. So take whatever action you need to help yourself connect with some kind of meditative, deep, regenerative practice that will help you to heal your higher self. If you can do any exercises that will help you to get to your higher self, that would be great. If you want to go deeper with the journey work, I would suggest doing the shamanic journeying course that I've put up on YouTube. It's free. And it will allow you to kind of like go deeper into the space where you can really understand what's going on, and just go deeper, basically, and help you to kind of regenerate. Because often when we do journeys, when we come back, not only that, with myself and with my clients, we are re-energized and we feel amazing. So this is, you know, an opportunity for you to explore something. It might be something that interests you. But otherwise, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was really intense. This set of readings was absolutely mind-blowing. I always get apprehensive of whether or not I'm going to upload these, but I am going to anyway, because they are what they are. Please do go and see Gian's reading. Gian's readings are amazing. They will act as a wonderful accompaniment to this reading. You know, we're going to talk about what the whole angelic realms have to give you in order to help you through this process. Do let me know how it is in the comments. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for your attention and for your kindness and for watching. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye.